So I don't think there's anything wrong with our kids. If I ask them who wants to play in the NFL and they all raise their hand, to me there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But they got to realize very few of them make it, and when they do make it, they're only going to play a couple of years at the most. So we better be prepared for the transition outside of athletics. And that's for all athletes, not just football players. And so that's what we try to educate our guys on and say, listen, there's going to be a day, and probably a day pretty quickly, certainly within the next 5 or 10 years, that you will no longer be playing football. So you better think about what you're doing next, and you got to be prepared for that transition. But student-athlete welfare, there's more talk about it, but we don't need to be paying these guys. Now, can we give them more of a stipend, a couple $1,000s? Sure. Should we feed them their meals and let every meal every day? Sure. I think that's all great. So the life of a student-athlete will be better going forward, but it ain't that bad right now.